opportunity exists not where everybody else is. It exists where people are not.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Change and the Market. My name is Peyton Beck, and joining me, as I would say always, but we've been mixing it up a little bit, haven't we? But today we're joined with Chris Masiello, the OG of the show, chairman of the Masiello Group, and two-time best-selling author, possibly three-time. It's coming up. We're launching, I think, today. Today's your launch day of your book, isn't it? We don't.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that's not what we're going to talk about today, but so a little shameless plug for you. I'll put that in there.
We'll talk about it next week.
Yeah, absolutely. So Chris, we have a lot going on in the market. Things have been changing a lot. So let's just talk about it. What's new this week in the housing market?
Yeah, well, it always seems like there is something new every week, right? Let's start with the new rules changes. I think the industry is doing a great job of assimilating those. And, I don't think it's really going to have any impact on the market at all. Obviously there's some things that you have to get used to, but, it's not really going to impact the market, and it's kind of business as usual. What's interesting though now is that we're kind of moving into this phase where, like, we know there's going to be an interest rate adjustment now. We know that, right? We've gone from speculation to, questioning to knowing. So we know that unless something bizarre happens, that there'll be at least 3 rate adjustments, or the total of 3/4 of a point, right, between now and the end of the year, but most likely be a quarter to half a point in September. And what that's going to do is that's going to help absorb some of the inventory that's built up. So, in some regions, not all, okay, but in some regions, we actually have a little bit of a run-up of pre-pandemic inventory levels. Now, to quantify that, instead of 30 days of inventory, you have 60 days of inventory, right? Or maybe 90 days of inventory, which historically still doesn't mean much. However, we have built up a little bit of inventory, and as rates go down, that inventory is going to get absorbed very quickly.
Yeah, that's huge. So, are we seeing that across the nation? Is it just in specific pockets? And how does that impact with housing prices?
There are pockets. They're kind of where you would think they'd be. The Northeast is doing well. The Midwest is doing well. The West Coast is doing well. There's some pockets, in other parts of the country, some parts of the South and, Southeast is not doing as well. But it's all relative, though. There's still positive appreciation. The appreciation year over year nationally is 3%. In the Northeast, it's greater than that. And like we've talked about this a lot, we have a systemic shortage of inventory. It's not like something that's going away anytime soon. And one of the things I think has been interesting is that both at a local level, okay, state, local state, and now nationally, okay, the shortage of housing has become a campaign platform issue, as it should. And, I know that Vice President Harris and her running mate have put together, have postured, that we need 3 million new housing units. Well, good for her, because she's right, we do. But you need more than 3 million. It's probably a 2 or 3x that number to keep up, right? So, but the fact of the matter is that it is getting attention. And I think the systemic nature of the shortage is now kind of like, fully in everyone's view. And I think that's kind of what we need, because we've got to get the local, the communities, which housing is a community-based right effort anyways, to understand that we do have a housing shortage, and that, we do need to be mindful of making sure that, the things that we enjoyed in our generations, right, that generations going forward can enjoy the same thing, right? And so we need to produce more housing. So the fact that it's actually hit a political level, I think, tells you quite a bit.
Absolutely. So going back to our roots in the show, what, as we're facing these changes and as we're going through the political season with all of that and everything good, what tips do you have with regards to just facing the changes that are in front of us?
I like to call it our agility. right? Like what's our mental agility? And so, yeah, we are in a very, very fast environment at all levels, social, economic, right? It's very political now because it's political season. It's a very fast environment. And with an environment like that, we have to be open-minded, right? And we have to keep our mental agility. And we do that by kind of opening up our peripheral vision. Okay. So like right now, like we know rates are coming down. If you can avoid it, well, don't wait until December, right? As rates come down, there is more inventory out there and it will get absorbed. Well, be one of the first ones in, right? That's where the opportunity is. If there's less opportunity, if you're one of the last, right? Opportunity exists not where everybody else is. It exists where people are not, right? So, if you can avoid it, right? Because we know rates are coming down, and starting, kind of being in that mindset of forget the fact that rates went up; they're now going down. So lean into that, and that's that kind of mental agility. Change your mindset, and once you change your mindset, then your actions will follow.
I love that. No, I think that's something we should be taking with us throughout the rest of this year and into next. But that's going to do it for us this episode of Change in the Market. As always, feel free to like and comment on this video. Keep your eye out for Mindful Mondays, the book coming out today. Again, a second plug for you, Chris. And until next week, we'll catch you later.
Take care. Good to see everybody.